Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our... I almost said Expeditions Viking, because I've been recording a lot of Expeditions Viking in the last couple hours, but Hearts of Iron 4, where we have finally justified a war goal against Czechoslovakia and stirred up a whole hornet's nest of trouble in the process. We actually managed to become the largest world tension generator in the entire world, 10.9, so basically 11%. Which is kind of ridiculous considering everything else that's happened so far. We've had Italy basically subjugating a sovereign nation. We've had Japan declaring war on China. I can't remember what else, but basically us just insinuating that we might be justified in going to war with a country has been like the most obscene event in the world from 1936 till now. And probably worse than that is that the UK decided to guarantee their independence. So if we declare war on Czechoslovakia, the whole of the Allies are going to come after us. So I'm not sure how we can really resolve this. We're just going to kind of keep going along with it and see if maybe we can just throw the entire world into a utter chaos and completely divert history, because, I mean, whether it's the Germans conquering us or the English conquering us, I don't think it matters. So, well, I mean, actually, I think I'd rather the English try to conquer us, because then I can just, like, garrison the hell out of these two provinces and say, come at me, bro, and see what they decide to do. They would have to get military access permission from some of our neighboring countries to do that, and that could prove difficult for them. Whereas Germany's got plenty of border with us to just march right through. Anyway, I guess we'll get the clock started. Let's survey what we got going on before we do that. We are investing in the old Polish region right now to build up some extra factories. Basically, we want all the free factories we can get, so that's what we're focusing on now. Research, we're about halfway done with our new tanks. As soon as we finish this research, we'll probably start manufacturing tanks. Even if we don't have the resources, we'll just start doing whatever we can with them. We are most of the way done with our interwar artillery to boost our attack by quite a bit. Mechanical computing, not going to give us a whole lot other than a little bit of a boost to our research speed, which it looks like it'll put us at minus 15%, which isn't too bad. But more importantly, this is going to open up a lot more research down the line. And then we are currently apparently done with our synthetic fuel refinery, so that means we are currently making oil and rubber. So we actually should have no trouble cranking out those tanks. And we're back to making civilian factories, which I should probably queue up a little bit more. I have 19 currently. How many military factories will I have? 9. We will have 10 after that focus is done. So I'm not sure which I should manufacture right now. Let's see here. We have 6 military factories and 3 civilian. I think I'll probably build another civilian here. Build it in Warsaw. And then I'm not sure where I'm going to start building military ones, but we should add a couple of those as well. I think there's a couple more free ones we can get from national focuses, though. So we'll see about that. And then, what do we have left? Current production is looking good. We're making convoys about 1 a month, which is fine. I'm not sure how many we've cranked out thus far. I wish it was a little bit more clear about that. Quite a few, actually. I think we started with 10. We're using 3, so a decent amount, I guess, especially considering we don't have the resources for them. It is using a little bit of our oil, but obviously we're going to start putting tanks into production, and that's going to cut into that. And then what else? In terms of recruitment, it looks like we are just getting started on these guys, but this infantry division's almost done. Alright, so time to roll the clock. Okay. So, the comments have been abuzz lately with this whole, like, front lines nonsense. I'm aware of it. All you have to do is hold Alt, and you can bring up all the various battle plan stuff. I personally hate them. I think it's the worst addition to Hearts of Iron 4. And in my experience, they are more trouble than they're worth. Basically, in Hearts of Iron 3, the micromanagement was just like ridiculous levels. And so they've tried to correct that in Hearts of Iron 4, and I think they went too far the opposite direction. They've basically removed player control from combat to where you basically just tell the AI how far to push, and the AI does it all for you. Problem is the AI is not very effective at that. Because you're going up against AI, it tends not to matter as much. But the AI will basically, for example, if you want to push slightly this direction with your front, so this group right here, if you want them to go slightly west, what it will do is rather than shifting everybody like so, it will basically take these guys and send them around. And overall, it's just really, really stupid. The one downside to not using front lines, though, is you use out on the planning bonus. Now, that's only actually going to help you on the offensive. It basically is a boost to your, not your attack, but your overall offensive capabilities, essentially. On defense, it makes absolutely no difference. All that's going to matter there is the same stats that would normally apply, and then your entrenchment. So, unfortunately, on the attack, if you're not using front lines, you're a little bit less efficient. But you can sort of make up for that by the fact that you are maneuvering more intelligently than the AI would. We have another division done. This is the 36th Infantry Division, I believe. So we'll get them renamed, and we're going to add them to the Eastern Army and then move them here. So, that said, if you're playing as a very big faction, say, you know, Nazi Germany during World War II, front lines are going to be critical because there's just no way you can micromanage everything that you would have to deal with. You know, you're fighting the Western Front in Europe, you're fighting the Eastern Front in Europe, and then you've got the African theater where, you know, you're fighting the British for various holdings in Africa. You know, you're going to need to use those because you basically can't have your hands in everything at once. In Poland, I have, like, what, maybe 12 stacks of units. All I have to do is go like this and then tell them where to go. And I have a pause button. So it's really not that big a deal. But I know everybody is like hotkey Nazis. I don't know why people get so obsessive over hotkeys, especially in like turn-based games. I once had somebody like telling me that I should be using hotkeys in like Battle Brothers, and it's like, okay, like what is the AI not going to wait for me to take my turn if I don't press 2 instead of clicking the button? It's just like come on. I kind of want machine tools or radio detection. They're both pretty critical at this juncture. I mean, actually, that's not that critical because well, it depends on if we've capped any of these. We're pretty close to capping that one. This one is capped, so maybe we should do it. Because a few of these are capped, or basically 2 of the 3 are capped. So we're losing efficiency essentially that we could be gaining right now. So yeah, I think we'll do it. Okay. We should also probably be making fighters. We don't really have the factories for it. I don't want to cut into like our weapons production because that's the only way we're cranking out infantry at this point. Although we could probably sacrifice 1. It's going to cost me about 10 weapons a day to start making fighters. Huh. I guess it depends on how many fighters we can crank out. Obviously, having more military factories would be useful for that. I think what I'll do is I'll wait for this to finish. We'll put the new factory toward making fighters, and if it looks like we would really benefit from adding a second, then I'll take it off of the small arms and add it there. Let's see. Vincenti Widows questions Czechoslovakian sovereignty. So who determines the borders of a nation and how are they determined? Whatever way people may have found in the past to justify where the Polish Republic ends and Czechoslovakia begins, we live in a new era. The strategic importance of this border cannot be overstated, and we are well within our right to shift it to ensure the continued security of our people. Listening to his recent speeches, an invasion of Czechoslovakia appears imminent. Dissenting voices have been objected, but public support for war is on the rise. Okay, so we can rally behind that cause, or we must rally behind it. Let's see, what does that mean for our ability to declare war? Well, we're still very far from that being done. It's expected, oh, I didn't even realize that before. It's expected to finish in November of 1938, which actually might be too late. That could very well mean that Germany is going to take the western portion of it first. So we will see what happens there. Let's look at this while we're waiting. So that will give me another factory, as will this when it finishes. That's all infrastructure. That's another free factory. I really wanted the additional research slot, so I think we're going to finish that first. And then I'm either going to take the extra free factory over there, or I kind of want to continue down this tree to see if we can draw closer to Britain. So that would take us... I think we have to go here. Does this require... Yeah, it requires both. That's going to take a lot to get us over here. Plus 50 diplomatic relations, though. And there's our focus done. Whoops. So let's go ahead and choose a new one. I'm definitely going to take the research slot now, because that could be a huge boost to us moving forward. And then we have a free factory. Let's start making... That's the old tank. We want the new tank. So for now, we're going to start making modern fighters. We can create variants. I don't think we need to. And we have enough oil, aluminum, and rubber to crank those out. It looks like we're only going to get about one a month. So I'm thinking, let's take this down to 3. And I'll add 2 here, and that's going to give us 2 a month. Not that much more effective, but at least we're getting planes finally. Italy announces claims on Yugoslavian territory. Yeah, we're still out in front, which is kind of funny. This sucks, because they've had so much time to mobilize now. Like, if we were able to just declare war with no reason, we would have been all over that. But now they're starting to garrison these territories, and things are going to get a little bit more rough. We still outnumber them almost 2-to-1 across the border, but they're going to be holding these mountains, and it's going to be really tough to push through. I may actually do some swapping around. Let's see. Angered by Czechoslovakian posturing. Those naive citizens of the Polish Republic who imagine the Czechoslovakians as a people of peace are entirely out of touch with reality. Those who live at our border do not have the luxury of such delusions, seeing their troops closing in on us just across it. This is a threat we cannot leave unanswered. With every passing day, Czechoslovakia is preparing for war. It would be madness for us not to do the same. The Czechoslovakian military presence closer to our territory has sparked increased concern that this nation appears more and more to be the enemy of the... I'm not sure what PSL stands for, but that's the Democratic Party that is currently in power. Whether it is the cause or the effect of the polemic is a matter of contention. Okay. So relations are souring even further. Be interesting to see how this plays out. So about a month until our tanks are done, and then we can start cranking some out. Cranking tanks. So this will be a while before this caps out. But we will start getting more and more as that gets closer to full production. And hopefully we can get enough to at least provide us with like decent air superiority in this area. We'll probably just camp them right here and just have them on like 24/7 air superiority once this war kicks off. That way we don't have people bombing our cities. I don't know that they really have much of an air force here. It's kind of difficult to tell with the fog of war on, but I imagine they'll have something. At least I would think so. And then, let's see. We're producing quite a bit of oil and rubber from that synthetic refinery. I'm actually impressed with the amount of oil it's giving us. We only have a surplus of 2, though. Probably because of all the production we just put in for planes. Or for fighters, I should say. Diplomacy. Let's see. They don't like me all that much. I wonder why that is. I should probably... yeah, let's improve our relations with them. I don't like spending political power on that, but kind of need to. Maybe I should work on Germany a bit as well. They really don't like me, actually. I think because I declined their offer for the anti-Comintern whatever. What about you guys? I could probably turn that around. Daily cost of 0.4. The issue is I don't think we can offset that. So one country at a time, I think. I should probably put people here. I didn't even consider that. Well, not a big deal. We still have plenty of time. Let's see, this probably is not even... yeah, not even to 100 yet. Huh. Who knew justifying a war was so hard? Especially back in these days. You could... back in World War II era, you could probably just declare war for no reason at all. I mean, the Germans seem to do it pretty often, pretty effectively. I don't know. I wonder if going after... like, my concern is going after one of these smaller nations is just going to take an eternity as well. Although I could probably start justifying it now. We need world tension at 60, so I can only get away with one of them. Oh, because we're democratic. Plus 100, so good thing we got that first one off before the government switched. But that's actually fine, because we're not that far off, and I think by the time we're done with the first war, it will be pretty high. Let's see. Tank designer. Yeah, I kind of need that. Especially if we're going to start producing tanks. It actually would have helped us get this quicker, but more importantly, when we start producing them, we want that extra reliability. And we will start producing them very, very shortly. Okay, so that is done. We'll choose a new research. And definitely not going to take anything here. Although heavy tanks are tempting, it's just probably have more pressing concerns at the moment. Let's see. New weaponry seems like a great idea. Breakthrough and defense for just about everything. We also have soft attack, but only for cavalry, motorized, and mechanized. Well, leg infantry, I guess that means anybody on foot, I would assume. So just +5 soft attack to anybody firing a rifle. Huh. I don't know which is better. This is probably going to require us to start cranking out new weaponry, though, I would think, or maybe it's not until we take this one. Improved infantry equipment 1. I think that's what we're currently making. No, infantry equipment 1, so it is different. Huh. Well, I mean, better now than later, right? We also have, like, support companies could be really useful. Military police would be super useful once we start conquest of Czechoslovakia, because we'll need the suppression. In terms of cavalry, I think, or not cavalry, in terms of artillery, I think we're done until 1939. Land doctrines, probably going to hold off on a lot of the land doctrines until I get the national focuses that cut them in half, because they're pretty lengthy. We don't need navy stuff. Air is important, but I think we're good. We're only really going to need like these 2 trees, and then maybe tactical bombers later. I don't think we're going to need strategic bombers at any point unless we somehow research nukes. I think it's mostly just going to be CAS and fighters for air superiority. It'd be cool to get into the jet stuff, like some Cold War technology. Obviously, we've got 2 of these things going already, so we don't want to focus there. I'm thinking... God, I wish these were shorter, because I would really like both of them, especially if we're making tank divisions. I'm going to want to add maintenance companies to them. It only makes sense. But this, it's probably better that we get this out of the way now, because we are going to have to move our production over, so we're going to want to do that sooner rather than later, so that we can build back up that efficiency. Could be wrong there, but I think that makes sense. And we'll have to do it at some point, so I don't know that the order matters all that much. It is a fairly short research too, so at least there's that. And I guess we can start looking at tank production. The issue here... Oh, we don't have enough aluminum for that. We're getting 4 a month though, and it's increasing. But yeah, I don't have the factories right now. Maybe we'll probably wait then. Once this finishes, we'll take the other free factory, and we will use that to start producing tanks. Because I don't want to decrease any of our other production. It's going to hurt our infantry recruitment. So I want you, first of all, to get renamed to the 37th Infantry Division, and you're going to start a new stack over here. And I need to add you to the Eastern Army. The Eastern Army is really building up. I thought the Western Army would be bigger. Maybe I should like take this whole thing here and add it to the Western. Well, I'll wait until you guys are done moving. But yeah, I think I'm going to try to even them out. Let's see. Calls for intervention in Czechoslovakia. They're a dubious democracy, huh? Is he... Yeah, I was going to say. Like, they keep dropping his name. I was wondering who it was, and I figured it was probably our new leader. Oh, mechanical computing's done. Whoops. Right, let's grab a new research then. So that opened up computing machines, which will give us even more faster research times, and then that'll open up decryption and whatnot. We have till the end of the year to finish these and still be on time, though. So I don't see a rush for that. I'm going to go with radio detection. We've been putting that off for a while. And we are going to have to actually build those radar towers. So we can't, put that off forever. But yeah, you guys right here are going to join the Western Army. Just to kind of balance this out a bit. And I may end up even adding this one to the Western Army as well. We'll see. We'll see. How are things with the UK right now? I'd be at the bottom, I assume. It's actually increasing pretty quickly. Wow, I did not expect it to work that quickly. I just need them to guarantee my independence. I wish there was a way to like in Total War, what is it? Napoleon Total War. You can ask for like trade embargoes and things from other nations. I wish there was options like that, like stop guaranteeing these guys independence, stop trading with these guys. kind of weird talking about a Total War game and saying like, oh, I wish this Paradox game had these diplomatic options. It's usually the other way around. I don't remember what number we are on for our mountain divisions. 1, 2, I think we got up to 3 maybe, or possibly 4. No, we have a 5. Yeah, 4 and 5, so this is number 6. 6th Mountain Division, and we will send them to join probably the Eastern Army down here, because if they're going to be attacking that province, they're going to need it. And then I think we'll add the next couple of divisions down there until we get a full stack of 4. And then what I might start doing is adding more mountain divisions in here where the mountains are really thick, and pushing some of that infantry into reserve. So maybe go like 2 and 2. Alright, there's our additional research slot. Oh boy. So Austria has just joined the German Empire. So that's their first big move. So we can't really afford to wait too much longer here. We are racing against the clock after all. And all they're doing is expanding their strength, essentially. And I'm worried that if we take Czechoslovakia and it doesn't throw them off their game, we could just be giving them a bigger front to attack. But we'll see. Let's see. What do we want to take? Oh, we need a national focus too. We want that for the free factory. And then heavy tanks are tempting, but we aren't going to have the production capability to crank them out effectively. So, like I think I mentioned this in the last episode, I'd rather make a bunch of light tanks than a few heavy tanks. So maybe another infantry doctrine. Again, I'd rather wait until we can cut down those times. But this is sort of like a free research now that we have a 4th slot. I'm wondering if there's maybe something here that would give us a better benefit. Actually, yeah. Factory output, production efficiency, base and retention. And it looks like it gives us more build slots as well. I'm going to do that. Yes, please. And we are actually out of time, so I'm probably going to leave it right there. Things are really starting to heat up here. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to pull off this plan. I'm really hoping that we can, but things are getting kind of ugly. And we might need to start making more friends. Things with the UK actually improved a lot quicker than I thought they would, but they're still guaranteeing the Czechoslovakians independence. And until this kicks off, we do have time to change that. I don't know how we're going to change that, but we really need to make sure that when we attack them, the allies aren't all going to come to their rescue. Again, I see the allies as less of a threat than I see Germany, because the allies are going to have to attack us through another country or these 2 provinces, so we could pretty much just turtle right here and maybe hold them off. Or they may never actually act on it. There's plenty of games where the AI will declare war on you and then they'll sit, halfway across the world and do nothing. We'll certainly see, but we may have no choice, because if we don't throw Germany off their game, they're coming for us anyways. So if the allies get to us first because we declared war, well, at least we were being proactive, Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Hearts of Iron 4 with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.